Hello, friends from the comic world. My name is Hector,
And my name is G.
and we are here to talk to you about the new collected editions and graphic novels that are coming out in December of 2025. G and I work for Penguin Random House. We manage sales into the direct market around the world. So the books that you will see in these videos are from the publishers that we represent into those markets. Also, note we're on social media. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, X, Twitter, and of course YouTube under at PRH International Comics. We'll leave links in the description below for you. And the way we do these is we first go through a couple of picks that G and I want to highlight for you, and then we go through other titles we want to make sure we present to you because we think you shouldn't miss at all during the month of December. And then after that, you'll be able to see the rest of the list, the rest of the titles that are to be published, or should I say, go on sale during the month of December. Note there might be a few titles here and there that you saw on previous videos on previous months because sometimes there are delays in publications. So just be aware of that. And I think that's it. Without further ado, let's get started. I think it's my first pick. Yes. And we start with The Cape Omnibus by, obviously based on Joe Hill, story written by Jason Sierramella and illustrated by Zach Howard and Nelson Daniel. And it collects, first of all, the Cape stories. It has the Cape 1969 and the Cape Fallen. And if you don't know the basic story of the original The Cape, it was this character that you see here, Eric. He, as a little boy, him and his little brother, they always wanted to be superheroes. They would, you know, dressed up and climb trees. In Eric's case, he would wear a cape with the lightning ball that you see there. And when he was 8 years old, he falls onto a branch and hits his head. And that causes him, he has several surgeries and causes him throughout the years to have this really bad headaches and kind of messes up his life. And while he has we kind of see him later on his 20s. He's trying to hold on to a job, but he can't. He has this amazing girlfriend, but he just messes that up too and breaks up with her, or she breaks up with him. I can't remember exactly. And then he also has a lot of jealousy towards his brother, who is starting to become a doctor. And he goes back home to in and among his old things finds the cape that he wore when he was a little kid, and he puts it on and then starts floating, starts flying. He realizes he can fly, and he goes to show his now ex-girlfriend, and she's not as excited as he thinks, or maybe he's just in his head, he's just not what he was expecting. And I'm not gonna spoil it, but he does terrible things, not just to her, but many, many people. And he becomes more of a villain than a superhero. And it's a very Joe Hill type of story, um, where you see the worst in people uh, kind of come out, um, but it's in a very tragic way. Um, but it's also there's a lot of sort of criticism about kind of a view of what would you do in a situation and where you're at and how not because just because you put on a cape you're going to be noble and become Superman. So that's basically, I think, that's the story behind, or the lesson behind this. The other ones, the Cape 960 1969 is a prequel, and it goes through the story of Eric's dad when he was in Vietnam, and kind of explains where the powers are coming from. And then there's also the Cape the Fallen, which I haven't read. I need to get into on that one. Um, it kind of continues the story from where it where Joe Hill left it. Joe Hill wrote the original short story, and it was part of a short story collection that he published. Very, very cool. The art on this is very beautiful too. Um, it's one of my favorite comic book stories of in a long time, and I'm a big, big fan of Joe Hill too in general. So I'm really excited about having all this collected into an omnibus. Very cool.
All right, so next up, the Complete Sea Comics. So, in the mid 1960s, we have legendary artist and writer Joe Brennard, who essentially teamed up with poets such as John Ashbery, Frank O'Hara, Barbara Guest, Ron Paget, Kenneth Koch, Ted Berringen, and many more poets, and they collaborated together on these comic strips that you can now access through sort of this anthology collection that you see here. So this was only like previously available only in the rare book market. So it was really hard to gain access to. And obviously, in the book market, these are very highly priced items. And so for the first time ever, we're now making it, or at least New York Review Books is now making it available under one hardcover edition that you see here. So really cool, fresh. I like if you're actually bringing it back here. The two issues of C Comics still feel as fresh when the first page rolled off of the mimeograph machine over 60 years ago. And so we have Bernard's energetic line, joyful, humorous charge across these pages that you see underneath the collection, underneath the cover here. So really interesting. It's like a piece of history again, in the mid 1960s that I do highly recommend checking out that I'm particularly interested in. So yeah, just wanted to highlight it.
Yes, very cool. All right, so we got three. I'm cheating a little bit here because I have three picks in one, but they're all part of Jim Henson's Labyrinth, and this first one is the Complete Labyrinth Beyond the Goblin City, and this one sort of spotlights the secret history of Sir Didymus and the untold story of one of Jairus Masquerade, in addition to a lot of other fan characters that are in the Labyrinth world. Um, I do want to mention that writers and artists included in here include Delilah S. Dawson, which you see here on the slide, but also Jonathan Case, Gustavo Tuarte, Roger Langroy, Katie Cook, Jeff Stokey, Sarah Webb. There's so many. A lot of Elena Donnelly, Samantha Dodge. I mean, it's a really cool group of creators involved in this one. And then the next one, if you could go to the next slide, it is Complete Labyrinth Coronation. This is by Simon Spurrier, illustrated by Daniel Bayliss. And this one is the untold origin of the Goblin King. So this is way before Sarah ventured to save her baby brother from the clutches of the Goblin King. Another young woman sought to save her child from an unknown fate within the labyrinth, set in the 18th century Venice. So it's kind of looks into this sort of prequel of the story that we saw in the movie. And then next up is Labyrinth, the graphic novel, and reprinted the adaptation of the movie. This is written by Kyla Vanderkolk and illustrated by Giorgio Spalletta. It is celebrating, all three of these are celebrating the 40th anniversary. 40th anniversary. I can't believe it's already 40 years of Jim Henson's seminal film. Boom Studios proudly presents the first ever graphic novel adaptation of H.C.H. Smith's beloved novelization, which includes moments and scenes never shot or captured in the final feature film. Uh, so very cool. Fans of Labyrinth are gonna be rejoicing in December because not only you get this amazing adaptation, but you get also those other two collections to so you'll have a complete history of what's out there for graphic novels in for Labyrinth, Jim Henson's Labyrinth. There you go.
All right, my next pick is Rose Wolves Book Two, Out of the Blue. This is by Natalie Warner. And in the first volume, which we also have available, book one, we get introduced to this little girl who picks an unusual flower from an unusual bush in the forest, and overnight the flower blooms and turns into this magical creature, a rose wolf, who is missing a leg, just like the little girl who is missing an arm. So now we have the return of these characters in book two. She's really excited to share this discovery that she's made with her mom. But as the seasons are changing and the forest falls asleep for winter, the world of the rose wolves might change as well. So ahead of them lies new problems, new discoveries, and even more new friends as you walk through this story. So this is coming out in hardcover. Again, this is book two, so if you haven't read this, do highly recommend also picking up book one, but it's a perfect time to pick them both up. And this is definitely for kids, for families. It could be an like essentially like an all ages type of story. Um, who, and these are readers who love minimalistic graphic novels that is centered around this like very magical fable, but at its core, it's a story about family, it's a story about disability, transformation, the passage of time. It's beautiful. So I do recommend that you try this out.
Yes. And then we have Star Wars Dr. Aphra, Friends and Enemies Omnibus. This one is the Betsy Cola cover, the direct market only cover. And then the next slide, you get to see the regular cover for the whole market by Young sorry, Jung. I'm so sorry. Cover. Um, this is including the it includes Dr. Afra, the 2020 run that Elisa wanted the from 26 to 40, and also the miniseries Star Wars Sana Staros uh, issues 1 to 5 of that miniseries by Justina Ireland, and then the illustrators for those two were Minkyu Young and then various Marvel artists during the run of Dr. Afra. And so this has sort of that the end of that Dr. Afra's run, amazing run by Alisa Wong, which also at that same time, Sanastaros, the miniseries came out, and but Sanastaros was also it was kind of introduced and then was part of the story during that last arc. It includes a lot of those great stories that it finished. It includes the stories from the Spark Eternal and everything that kind of changed Doctor Opera for a little while there. Also, Luke Skywalker, which shows up and you see him on this cover. And at that point, it wasn't sure what the relationship was going to be between them, if they're going to be friends or foes, what it was. It was really good stories, and I really like that they're putting them together with the Sastaros miniseries because it would have been incomplete without it. And I'm really looking forward to. I mean, G knows that I don't do a lot of omnis, but I do the Star Wars Doctor Off omnis for sure. I
Mhm.
have to get this one. There you go.
Okay, and then next up we have the Shaolin Cowboy, beginning of the end results, 21 years of blood, sweat, and chainsaws. So, as the title implies, this is celebrating 21 years of the Eisner and Inkpot Award-winning, highly praised Shaolin Cowboy comic series in this brand new collection. And it features all the essential stories for all the fans. So, it is essentially collected in this special anniversary deluxe hardcover edition, which includes the Shaolin Cowboy Start Trek and the long out of print fan favorite Bourbon Threat comics from Comics and Stories published in France by Mobius Publishing House Adina. So a nice collection showcasing again the essential Shaolin cowboy over the last 2 decades. So you can think of this as a very commemorative epic publication for the art collectors, especially for the fans of Jeff Darrow's. So yeah, this is definitely for you, for those fans who are such huge collectors. So this is again coming out of Dark Horse.
Yes. And that's it for our picks, but we'll continue just highlighting some key titles that are also coming out during the month of December. And then we have Absolute Flash Volume 1 of Worlds. This is written by Jeff Lemire. And then also Absolute Green Lanterns Volume 1, Without Fear. This is all Ewan writing. And then we have Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1, Get Back Up, Joe Kelly. And then we have Aquaman Volume 1, The Dark Tide by Jeremy Adams. And Arcana Royale by Colin Barton.
Continuing on, we have Avengers by Johns and Copel Omnibus. So the first one that you see here is a David Finch cover. And then the second one is the direct market only cover done by Jim Chung. And then continuing that, we have Mike Barr and Batman, the Demon Trilogy. This is the 2025 print edition. And then, of course, Keanu Reeves, the huge name. This is Berserker Bloodlines. And this does well with us, the Alex Toth. We have there's a lot of fans out there who pretty much picks up anything that we put out with Alex Toth. And of course, this is no exception. This is Creepy Presents that by the illustrious Alex Toth that I mentioned
Let's stop. Yeah.
previously. Mhm.
Next up, Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe One Last Time by Colin Bunn. Then we have The Death of Superman, an Absolute Edition. And we have this Tombstone direct market exclusive. And also we have a slipcase, just regular edition, obviously both by Roger Stern. And then we have Dune, House of Atreides Deluxe Editions, is by Brian Herbert, and it comes with a regular edition and also a deluxe edition, limited edition slipcase.
Continuing on, we have Fantastic Four by Wade and Maringo, the authoritative action, of course. Yes, continuing on, I mentioned the creative team already. The Human Target by Tom King and Greg Smallwood, the deluxe edition. Finally, we're getting this nice deluxe treatment here. We have Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale, Captain America. And then we have this. Marvel has been doing these nice Marvel team up omnibuses, and this one included Volume 1, Gary Conway, and then we have the standard cover, but then there's also the direct market only cover that you see here.
Oh, sorry. And then we we continue with Lumberjanes Book 2 by Shannon Waters. Then we have Red and Blue Monster Hunters by Sarah Soler. And then we have Red Before Black by Stephanie Phillips. And we continue with Sister Imperator, created by Tobias Forge and written by Corina Becco. And The Smiths by Rhea Irvin.
And then we have Spectacular Spider-Man, This Monster Treasury Edition. We have Spider-Man, a Black Suit and Blood, Jam DeMatteis. And then we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles original motion picture special edition 35th anniversary by a slew of creators that you see on this slide here. And of course, we have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin box set. Again, a slew of comic creators, Kevin Eastman, Peter Laird, Tom Waltz, and etc., as you'll see listed.
Yes. Next up, we have The Warlord by Mike Grell, Omnibus Volume 1. Then from Distillery, we have Warm Fusion by Scott Hoffman and Alberto Ponticelli. And we have a regular cover, and then we have a direct market exclusive cover on the right. And then we have X-Men by Jerry Dugan, Omnibus, and we in that one we have a Joshua Casara cover, which is direct market only, but also a regular Pepe Larraz cover on the right. And that is it for the books that we're going to highlight. But stay where you are, keep watching. We're going to leave you with the rest of the list. Thank you so much for watching this. We enjoyed doing them, and we keep doing them for you. And I think that's it for now, right? I don't know
Mhm.
if I'm supposed to say. I never mind. Uh, but let us know in the comments if what you're excited about and what you're looking for, and also, oh, that's the other thing. We also do a monthly manga one, so check that one out. That's the other thing I wanted to say, and that's it. Take care. Bye.
Bye.